Today, we talk about Tua and the Dolphins, spend some time with radio personality Mike Tuck, and I weigh in on sports topics that are hot right now. Welcome to Full Sail Live. I'm James Ballerstein. Tua Tagovailoa is one of the most efficient passers in college football history. While going 22-2 as a starter, playing in 2 national championships and winning one, and throwing 87 touchdowns to just 11 interceptions, he stacks up a 199.4 career passer efficiency rating. Despite these stats, there are still questions about him. These questions aren't about his character or his work ethic. He was adored by his college head coach, Nick Saban. He called him, quote, a fantastic human. NFL expert Bucky Brooks said that his humility is genuine and that he's more than prepared to take on franchise quarterback roles. Super Bowl champion Trent Dilfer has been working with Tua through the pre-draft process while maintaining a relationship since Tua was in high school. Dilfer says he's never seen anything like Tua's ability to change anything in just one rep. The questions come from his injury history, especially the injury he suffered in November, a dislocated hip and a posterior wall fracture. Despite that, the Dolphins took a shot on Tua. Here to talk about that injury and all things Miami, we have a special guest. I'm joined now by radio host, my previous teacher, course director at Full Sail University, and probably the guy who's going to chastise me if I ask the wrong questions, Mike Tuck. Hi, Mike. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, James. How are you, bud?
I'm doing well. So, how did you feel about the Dolphins draft?
I thought they did pretty well. I think, obviously, at the top is where you have to start, and tanking for Tua all year long like they did, and then winning 5 games somehow, some way, you worried that was going to take them out of the quarterback conversation. But being able to get Tua Tagovailoa at the number 5 pick without having to trade up, without having to give up any draft capital, that almost makes it an A in itself. Overall, though, I thought they did pretty well. They drafted some younger players, some less experienced players that I think are going to take some time to groom. But that's a good thing because this Miami team isn't ready to win right now.
Correct. And that was going to be my next question I was going to ask you. Do you think that if Tua doesn't start this year, that Miami will be ready to go?
Miami will be ready to go? To contend?
Yeah, to contend.
No, not this year. No, Miami's not ready to contend yet. I think that they're going to need at least a couple of years of seasoning. And one thing I know for sure, Brian Flores hired as the head coach, and we saw it play out a year ago. They are not interested in losing games. They're not worried about developing players. He's going to play the players that are the best and ready to go and contribute to winning now.
I believe that the defense is probably going to be pretty solid. I mean, they picked up Kyle Van Noy. They picked up Byron Jones from the Cowboys. They did a great job of shoring up their defense, but their offense is obviously the question with Tua starting or maybe not starting. Their offensive weapon, they picked up somebody that's a whole lot along the lines of Taysom Hill in Malcolm Perry, a 2,000-yard rusher as a QB last year for the Navy. What do you think he's going to bring to on the offense?
It's hard to say. Whenever you draft a player who is not going to play their natural position or their college position, it kind of leaves a lot of clouds in the air, and you're not exactly sure what exactly you're going to see. But Malcolm Perry, if nothing else, proved that he was durable and explosive. And if there's an area where Miami left itself as an open-ended conversation, it's probably at the receiver spot. Perry could fit in as a third option out of the backfield. He also could fit in as a slot receiver. They did reduce Albert Wilson's contract and bring him back as their slot receiver, but they don't have much else there right now.
Well, the beautiful thing about the Dolphins right now is they no longer have to compete with the Tom Brady-led Patriots anymore, so I'm sure that everybody on that side of Miami is happy about that. Anyway, Mike, thanks for your time. Thank you, sir, for your time, and we'll get back to you later on. If nothing else, the Dolphins should be a fun team to watch this season with all the new weapons that they've acquired. I'm sure we're going to see Tua at some point, and it will be exciting to see if he lives up to his NFL hype. Up next, my segment where I get to unload the rant. The first thing that I want to get off my chest is all of these rumors about Antonio Brown and the Ravens. I don't think that there are very many Ravens fans that want to see that. It's a very selfless locker room, and I think that Antonio Brown would probably be on board with that for, a couple games. But as soon as he's not getting his 100 touches a year, he's going to start complaining on Twitter and Instagram, start saying things about the ownership and the coaches. I understand that he's a ridiculously gifted athlete, but when you have issues with the Patriots, who are the reclamation project for any receiver, If you don't fit in with those guys, then you're not going to fit in with the championship caliber of the Ravens. The Last Dance. I have absolutely loved this show. Getting the behind the scenes on the Bulls in this era has been a treat every single Sunday. Seeing Dennis Rodman do his thing when he went out and went gambling and went partying and did all that stuff before the championship, that was wonderful. The footage with security guards playing and Michael Jordan getting upset about losing in a game of quarters or whatever they were playing in there. Big fan of this show. I can't wait to see the rest of these episodes, and everybody's saying the next ones coming up are going to be absolutely electric. It feels really, really good to get all of that off my chest. Coming up after the break, we cover the top 5 receiver groups in the NFL and how the new drug policy will affect the league and free agency decisions on Full Sail Live.